pasan días y varias semanas.
He hasn't given no response, and it's been days, and it's been weeks, and he has... What do you think, Sarah, of this canyon right here?
It's absolutely incredible. I haven't been to Tijuana in a lot of years, and seeing how wide open it is. I mean, I don't know if you could turn the camera around and show everyone just how wide open it is. It's incredible.
A couple of questions. No. Rashida, what is your opinion on the massive child trafficking that is happening? Y espero logren su objetivo de la justicia a su país. Luchen por su país. Say the basically fight for your country. Están bloqueando el acceso. ¡Viva! La Policía Federal o la autoridad nos está deteniendo el acceso y nos está deteniendo el paso para poder cruzar hacia el Zócalo, señores.
How's everybody doing? God bless everybody that is watching. God bless our country of Mexico, our city of Tijuana. And God bless the United States of America. Let's thank God for giving us 2 legs, 2 arms, a mind that we can think, a heart that we can feel, and eyes that we can see. God bless every single one of you. Thank you so much for joining this evening. Today, it is Tuesday, 20th of July. For everybody that is watching, we are live at Facebook and we are live at YouTube, both platforms. On the top of the link, you will see Buy Me a Coffee. If you guys like to contribute to our independent reporting, Buy Me a Coffee is on top of the link. Thank you so much for joining. Share this video. No notifications are being given to my audience. It is sad what is they're doing it to us. But we are going to go ahead and just give you a live broadcast like we always do. 2 topics today, and I will start with the second one. I'm not going to start with the priority one. I'm going to start with Jorge Masvidal. Practically, people. Jorge Masvidal. Who is Jorge Masvidal? Who is Jorge Masvidal? There are a lot of people in the United States with the, they recognize this guy as Jorge Masvidal. Jorge Masvidal, it is a UFC fighter, really well-known worldwide UFC fighter. He started fighting in the streets for money with Kimbo Slice. Kimbo Slice, God rest his soul, and, in Miami. Jorge Masvidal is a Cuban-American who escaped communism from Cuba, and now he is located in the United States of America. Jorge Masvidal is a complete he is practically, he supports 100% Donald Trump, and he supports, against the communistic agenda that is occurring in the United States of America. He has been hardly criticized, but he doesn't care. Really, he does not care, and he calls out every single person that is, right now in favor of the dictatorship. And after Colin Kaepernick came out and said that he was, supporting the Castro regime, Jorge Masvidal practically said to him, "You are a coward, and you need to be sent back. You need to be sent to Cuba." This is why, for everybody that is watching, this is why Alejandro Mayorkas, the secretary, the head chief of the Department of Homeland Security, this is why he doesn't want Cubans. He doesn't want Cubans right now coming out of the island, because he knows that all of these people are against the Democrat agenda of communism. So he doesn't want to import people that they're basically going to be Republican, like Jorge Masvidal, that he's a professional UFC fighter. He has fought on world scenarios, world championships. He's a really well-known fighter. He has been in Fox News with Sean Hannity. He has been with Dan Bongino most recently, talking about this Colin Kaepernick, individual that he disrespects completely the United States of America, and that now Colin Kaepernick, it is practically in favor of the Fidel Castro agenda. And this is what basically Jorge Masvidal had to say about it. This is an article that it was given out by the Outkick. It is a sports article, and it says right there on the top, it says UFC Jorge Masvidal calls Colin Kaepernick a coward for once wearing a Fidel Castro shirt. Cuban-American UFC star Jorge Masvidal spoke out on the SOS Cuba protests taking place on the island against the government, and it has some issues with former NFL quarterback Colin Kaepernick. It says right here, it goes, quote unquote, Jorge Masvidal goes, "My father escaped Cuba when he was 14 years of age." Masvidal said in a video posted on social media, and he goes, quote unquote, I only heard horror stories since I could process thoughts on how shitty the communist regime is a killing machine. It's so I just wanted to shed some light on Cuba. Then he goes on right here on the bottom. It says the oppression has been going on for 61 years. This is for all of these leftist Democrats and these Alexandria Ocasios that they're only talking about is the embargo, Cubans are not blaming this oppression and what has been going on for 62 years on the embargo. First and foremost, welcome everybody that is joining in. Please help me out and like the video. If you like the video, we can break the algorithms and we can, get the message out and we can get the video out. Also on YouTube, please help me out on liking the video and welcome everybody. On top of the link, you will see buy me a coffee. Thank you so much. And then he goes on by saying, quote unquote, Jorge Masvidal goes on by saying this: the oppression has been going on for 61 years. This is not just because of the pandemic, or it's just because they ran out of medicine. They've been out of medicine and they've been out of resources and food because of the corrupt government and the extreme corruption over there, where only a few at the top eat and everyone else has to suffer. Those days have to end. He says that, quote unquote. And then he says this: Masvidal went on to share on Instagram a post in his story of Colin Kaepernick wearing a Fidel Castro shirt from 2016 and said this. He says this about Jorge Masvidal. Hey, Colin Kaepernick, he's calling you, man. UFC top-notch fighter, martial arts fighter. He's calling all you liberal calling, Jorge Masvidal a Cuban that exited Cuba, and all his father exited Cuba also. His father exited Cuba, I'm sorry. And he knows exactly what is going on in Cuba. And he calls Kaepernick this for wearing a Fidel Castro shirt in 2016. He says this: cowards like this fool who should be sent to live in Cuba to see how it is like living under oppression. Plain and simple. This is what Jorge Masvidal said. Cowards like this fool, referring to Colin Kaepernick, who should be sent to live into Cuba to see how it's like to live under oppression. He goes, quote unquote, to say that Jorge Masvidal. And this is his video here. He shed the light on his platform. This was on his Twitter, and this message was done in English. Look what it says right here. And you must excuse, this guy has no filter, man. This guy has no filter at all. This is one of my favorite fighters in the UFC, possibly my favorite fighter of all. Also, Nate Diaz is one of my favorite fighters. And ultimately, we got a new world champion in Tijuana that is Brandon, the Assassin Baby Moreno, that is, a good friend of ours. And, but this is a guy that it does not hold his tongue, man. You will see how he talks about what is going on in Cuba. And, some foul language that he uses, but this is the way this guy talks. Look at what he says right here.
Hello, everybody, and anybody listening. My name is Jorge Masvidal, and I'm just trying to keep up my fans or anybody that would know me, use my platforms to do what I feel is correct. What I feel everybody should be doing is fighting against oppression, dictatorships, communism, and anything of that nature. My father escaped Cuba when he was 14 years old, and I've heard horror stories since I could process thoughts of how shitty this communist regime killing machine is. So I just want to shed some light on Cuba. Big SOS signal for him. This oppression has been going on for 61 years. It's not just because of the pandemic, or it's not just because they just ran out of medicine, because they've been out of medicine, they've been out of resources and food, because of the corrupt government, the extreme corruption over there, where only a few at the top eat, and everybody else just has to suffer. Those days have to come to an end. So I think it's time for the whole rally behind Cuba. Let's go spread the messages online. We gotta protest. We gotta get together. We gotta get media channels, local media channels, cover this from other parts of the world. But I think it's up to us to put the word out there. It's corrupt government. Let's keep these fucking evil communist motherfuckers, man. Bless everybody, and thank you.
Some people are saying that the audio is really bad. The audio is really low. I'm sorry. This is the best that I can do. I'm sorry. This is the best that I can do. Every time is exactly the same thing, and I'm sorry. This is the best that I can do. Let me put it again and see if the audio is better, and let me see if the audio gets a little bit better. But let me just put a play right here. Let me see what the audio it is. It actually can hear it really low on your end, but let me just try to fix the audio right here, and let me see if we can hear it again.
Hello, everybody, and anybody listening. My name is Jorge Masvidal, and I'm just trying to keep up my fans or anybody that would know me, use my platforms to do what I feel is correct. And what everybody should be doing is fighting against oppression, dictatorships, communism, and anything of that nature. My father escaped Cuba when he was 14 years old, and I've only heard the horror stories since I could process thoughts of how shitty this communist regime killing machine is. So I just want to shed some Cuba. Big SOS signal for them. This oppression has been going on for 61 years. It's not just because of the pandemic, or it's not just because they just ran out of medicine, because they've been out of medicine, they've been out of resources and food, because of the corrupt government, the extreme corruption over there, where only a few.
Everybody's complaining about the audio. I'm sorry. I apologize. And they some people complain like they're demanding. Like it's really funny when somebody's trying to do a broadcast and they're like, "Come on, man! If you're gonna do this right." Like it's really funny how people just complain. We're trying to give some news right here. So let me just go ahead and pause everything that he's saying. I'm sorry. This is the way it is. Some platforms, they don't let us put the audio in a little bit more higher. So I will play it again, and I will stop, and I will basically say what he's saying. All right. So this is what he says. He says right here.
Hello, everybody, and anybody listening.
Hello, everybody, and everybody listening. My name is Jorge Masvidal, and I'm just trying to keep up with my fans and everybody that knows me. Use my platform to do what I feel direct, and then everybody should be doing, fighting against suppression and fighting against dictatorship, communism, and anything of that nature. My father escaped Cuba when he was 14 years old. I only hear the horror stories as I can process thoughts. How shitty is this communist regime killing machine is. So I just want to shed some light in Cuba. Big SOS signal for them. This shit has been going on for more than 61 years. It's not just because of the pandemic. It's not because they just ran out of a medicine. They've been out of medicine. They've been out of food. They've been out of resources and food because of the corrupt government, the extreme corrupt over the. There are only a few in the top even, and all the other people have to suffer. Those things have to come to an end. And I think that it's time for the whole world to ride behind Cuba. Let's go spread the message. Get online. Protest. We got to get together. We got to get intention. Maybe the media channels, the local media channels won't cover this, but I think it's up to us to get the word out there, fighting against these corrupt governments. And let's defeat this evil. I'm sorry for the foul language. I have to use it. But those are his words. Quote unquote, those are his words. Kindness, animal motherfuckers. God bless everybody watching, and thank you. This is Jorge Masvidal speaking on the situation. This is a guy that he is one of the top fighters on UFC. He's one of the top fighters in UFC and in mixed martial arts. He has fought the top dogs in UFC. He's always been clear about his stance against communism, and he just went at Colin Kaepernick, calling him a coward for wearing a Fidel Castro shirt back in 2016. And he said this, in reference to Colin Kaepernick wearing a Fidel Castro shirt back in 2016. He referred to this as him. He said, he said this: cowards like this fool who should be sent to live in Cuba to see how he likes living under oppression. So he's referring to also the Colin Kaepernick, ex-football player, and ultimately Jorge Masvidal has been really open about his political preference, and also he has been extremely open about his with Donald Trump. When Donald Trump started opening up and talking about communism and talking about fighting all these globalists, Jorge Masvidal gave this statement on one of his, when he finished up a fight. Look what he says about right here about Donald Trump. So you can see this is the number one reason why Alejandro Mayorkas, the head chief of the Department of Homeland Security, does not want Cubans to come in through the sea right now, because they know, ultimately Alejandro Mayorkas knows that they're going to import Republicans. They're going to import people that they're against the communists and against the the socialist agenda, which are being pushed by these traitors of the United States citizens like Ilhan Omar, like Rashida Tlaib, like Alexandria Ocasio, like Gavin Newsom, like all of these people that they're pushing communism in the United States of America. Look what it says right here. And again, the foul language is one of his virtues, man. This is a guy that does not, give an S about talking the way he talks. So this is Jorge Masvidal in an interview talking about Trump.
No matter what your views are on Trump as a president, that's a bad had that cocksucker with the MAGA talking about Trump this, Trump that, and he don't know shit about politics. And I'm not gonna sit here and talk about politics or act like I know about it, but I ain't gonna try to fucking sell people that I know about politics. That motherfucker can't even spell the nation's capital. Immigrant ass retard.
Would you like to have Trump put the belt on you other than The Rock?
That'd be cool too, you know. Trump's a cool motherfucker, you know. I don't want to get too much of politics, so you know, a lot of my Latin community upset at me, you know. So I'm not gonna dabble into politics right now, my brother.
Do you wish you could have seen that other reaction when it's announced?
That is his opinion. As you can see, that is his opinion on, on Donald Trump. And he says something that all of the people that have supported Donald Trump. Oh my God! Again, I'm not gonna fix the audio again. I'm sorry. This is the best that I can do. Can't hear him. Translate. Put the volume up. I'm tired of this complaining. I'm just trying to do the best I can with what I have. So if you want to join the live feed, stay. If you don't want to, there's the exit. Really. So he's basically giving out his opinion and telling everybody, you know what? Trump is a bad mother effer. I support Trump, and I have been hardly criticized by my own people right here in the island, and right here at Miami also, and practically he's saying, I've been hardly criticized by my own people. This is a guy that knows what is oppression. This is a guy that knows what is communism. This is a guy that clearly knows what is, basically living under a dictatorship. This is a guy that knows his family, how their family has lived under the oppression. This is a guy that knows specifically the values of freedom. This is the guy that knows practically, and ultimately, practically he knows everything about what it is to live under a communistic and leftist agenda. And it is just unbelievable. It is just unbelievable how now Alejandro Mayorkas, that is the head chief of the Department of Homeland Security, does not want to help nobody from Cuba. But yesterday you guys saw how more than 300 people arrived to Del Rio, Texas. 300 people arrived to Del Rio, Texas, and everybody was let in. 300, a massive group of 300 people, migrants from Haiti, migrants from Africa, and migrants from all across the world, basically. They arrived from the South Door, and ultimately they were let in. But people that are fleeing right now, they want to leave Cuba because of the oppression and the communism that is occurring over there. Alejandro Mayorkas said that he doesn't want to receive them. This guy, Alejandro Mayorkas, head chief of the Department of Homeland Security, exiled Cuba back in 1962 with his grandparents. And he was received in the United States of America on a boat. And now he's denying access to all Cubans that they are exiting from Cuba because they are against communism. These kind of voices, like, Jorge Masvidal, that he's a professional fighter of the UFC fighter. I wanted to bring this to light because I am an ex-professional boxer also. And I know, that sometimes when you get into this emotions that they're attacking your people and it is against the oppression of the government, you cannot hold behind, and you have to speak about the subject, and you have to speak about what is happening to your own people. In this case, what is happening to the people of Jorge Masvidal, that they're Cubans. He speaks clearly and he speaks openly about the oppression of communism, the oppression of their own people, the oppression, the globalists, and all this kind of stuff. The guy knows a lot about what is going on in Cuba because he has a father, and he was so fortunate to have a father that he escaped from communism and escaped from Cuba when he was 14 years of age. So his father has been clearly telling him, this is bad, son. Communism, it is just a complete, dictatorship that is going to take away all of your advantages, all of your future, and it is going to destroy your life. So if you guys want to find out about these interviews, I know a lot of people were complaining about the audio. This is the best that I can do, people. Try to understand. Trying to do the best that I can over here with the audio and with the platform that I got. So you can go to also go and visit the go in Google and go in YouTube and search for Jorge Masvidal giving his opinions on Trump, and you will see it right here. And also you can go to the platform that I just gave you that is talking about Jorge Masvidal, how he refers in his opinion on Colin Kaepernick, and you can find it over there also. How's everybody doing? God bless everybody that is watching. Moscow Blue right here for Border Network News. This is something that is happening right now in our country of Mexico. And I wanted to say this. I wanted to say this. There's somebody saying, no coffee for you. I like listening to you, but you don't have to be rude to your supporters. Jeez, I'm not rude to my supporters. I've never been rude to my supporters. And I want to address you right now. And I'm not being disrespectful to you, Mr. Neil. I'm not being disrespectful at all. God bless you, sir. God bless your heart, and God bless your opinion. Really, this is a freedom of speech. I'm giving you the time and the opinion, but really, I don't deal with snowflakes people. I don't deal with people that they get into their feelings. I'm not a Republican. I'm not a Democrat. I'm an independent, and I say things like the way it is. And a lot of people get into their feelings emotionally and entirely directly. I really say things the way it is. And I'm telling you, I cannot do better with the audio. And as I see complaints, I cannot do better, really. This is the thing that I can do. You can actually go and Google it yourself, as I said so. God bless you, sir. And I welcome you to stay on the live feed, and I welcome you to stay on the platform. So let's get right into it. What is going on in our country of Mexico with a particular situation that it is ultimately going to be exactly the same, and it is a domino effect. It is a domino effect. Everything that is happening in Mexico and everything that is happening in Central America and South America, it is exactly the same of what is ultimately is going to happen to the United States. And I'm sorry to say this, but everything has been happening exactly the same. Exactly the same. Trickle effect, domino effect. And everyone needs to know, everyone needs to understand this video that I'm about to show you. This is a group that is called Los Machetes. This group was conformed yesterday as they are rising, and let me just rephrase the word, rising against the oppression of the cartel and the sicarios. This is a group that it was formed by farmers. Farmers that they are tired of the oppression of the sicarios and the cartel. This is a group that it is located in Pentaljo, Chiapas. Remember, the state of Chiapas, it is a state that is connected to what, first and foremost, I want to basically put where is Chiapas for everybody to understand. And I'm going right now to Google Maps, and I'm going to show you where this group has rising. And this group, it is right now specifically protecting their town. As you can see, we are located all the way right here, but we're going to go. This is Mexico right here, the country. You see the beautiful United States on top, and we're going to go center it right here, little by little, and you can see right here Chiapas right here, all the way to the bottom. So I'm circulating. You got Guatemala right here. That is another country close to the other, the last state that is Chiapas. Also, you got another country right here that is Belize, and underneath Guatemala, you see El Salvador. Right here, let's go a little bit more closer, and you will see Chiapas right here, as this is a big state. Pentaljo, it is located around this particular area. And I just lost the location of Pentaljo right here. But Pentaljo is right here located on the top of the state. These are the states where a lot of guerrillero groups are formed, or a lot of guerrilleros are conformed. And why this formed these groups? Why they conform these groups on this particular place? Why they create these groups? And the only reason why they create these groups is because the organized crime goes in there and they force the young kids to be part of the organized crime, to be part of the cartel. So basically, these groups are made because they're tired of it. Another famous group in Chiapas is El Ejército Zapatista de Liberación Nacional, EZLN, that is head chief, and it is a name only. It is a name that is put to every time a leader steps into that position. That is Comandante Marcos. That is the Commander-in-Chief Marcos. That has been more as a politicized political group. But this right here, that is the group of Los Machetes. It is located right here, and they have rising. They rise. They have a rise, and I shown some pictures yesterday about how these farmers are tired of it. These are old, and these are in their 40s, 50s, and 60s. People, a lot of them they're young, but a lot of them they're fathers, and you got the sons, and you got the grandchildren fighting right now against this oppression. This is actually something that is an embarrassment to the Mexican president AMLO that is not doing anything about it, like the thing that is happening in Michoacan and in Guerrero. Then let me just go to Google Maps and just locate you where Michoacan and Guerrero is at. This is Michoacan and Guerrero right here, people. These two states right here. This is one, Michoacan, right here as you see it. This is one of the states that the cartel CG&G has completely taken over in another cartel by the name of Los Viagras. This particular place right here in Michoacan has been taken over by the organized crime. Another state that has been taken over, it is right here, Guerrero. Right here, let me locate you where I'm putting the mouse. Right here, the mouse director. It is underneath Michoacan. Also, this state has been taken over by the organized crime and is completely, being oppressed by the violence and the delinquents of the CG&G cartel and also other organizations. These organizations are basically being driven by the organized crime and all are exited of Guadalajara, Jalisco. But let's go right here we were talking about. So this is what an article said about the Machete group. That is the name of this group, Los Machetes. It is a new group that is basically against, and it is an auto defense group that is against the rebellion. It is a rebellion group against the oppression of the cartel. And it says right here, according to this article released by Expansion Political, the Machetes is a new group, an auto defense group that is right here located in Panteljo, Chiapas. On Saturday, they made their presentation and they said that they are going to expose the sicarios and the narco distributors and the organized crime because they don't want no more deaths to indigenous farmers. These sicarios, they have been assassinating and killing indigenous farmers. As I have been bringing to you guys what the things that have been going on in Morelia, Michoacan, and also in Guerrero. These kind of organized groups are the ones that are potentially close to the border of the United States of America. This is how important it is to everybody to know what is happening in our country because this is the organized crime. The one that Donald Trump wanted to dictate and wanted to denominate as terrorist groups. This is what they say about the group en Machetes. It says that the indigenous group Tzotziles and Tzetales of Panteljo, they congregated on Sunday to demonstrate to the new groups and civil groups that they are nominated and they're being denominated as Los Machetes. They did an assembly to present themselves to protect their own land. And this is a video that I'm about to show you about how they presented themselves in front of their own people. These are a lot of, a lot of people. These are a lot of people that they're defending their own land, that they're defending their own people. And this is because the government has been so incompetent to defend our own people. It's all corruption. It is all power. It is all giving right now to the organized crime. The organized crime is the one that controls the government right now. It's been like that for the longest of time, people. It's been like that in our country for the longest of time. But this is the problem. Which why I'm bringing this to light is because I'm going to ask this question again. I'm going to ask this question again to everybody in the public. Everybody in the public. A mí no me vas a venir con tus amenazas, el que me está poniendo aquí un comentario. No me vas a venir con tus amenazas diciéndome que yo soy el gato Félix. A mí no me vas a venir con tus amenazas. Cuida mucho tu vocabulario. Cuídalo mucho. This is what has been happening at the borders. I will ask this question to the American audience. And it's going to be a really simple question. Who controls the borders of the United States and Mexico right now? Is it the United States government? Is it the Mexican government? Or who controls right now? Who controls the borders? I'm being honest. I was in an interview today in the morning with a really respectful person. His name is George, the conservative George from San Antonio, Texas. It's a really nice man. It's a really respectful and nice man. And that interview is going to be aired on his show on Saturday. It's going to be aired on his show on Saturday. And I was telling him something. Before I go into this video, I was telling him the Border Patrol has become soft. Soft, really. They have taken away so much power from them that they are now only the processing agency for undocumented people, or a processing agency for people that they want to enter legally into the United States of America. They have taken away a lot of respect from them, from the United States Customs, from the Border Patrol. The last thing that it was so disrespectful, it was when Washington told the Border Patrol to not arrest the trafficker that it was transporting people on a water raft. Amazing. Washington told the McAllen, Texas Border Patrol to not arrest the traffickers, that they are bringing people on a water raft. It's just so unbelievable. So when you get those kind of situations, and when you are stopping independent media, like I saw, have been watching this, independent media, the Border Patrol is saying, do not record. I feel oppressed by you, independent media, you are a U.S. citizen, but all these people that are coming in, I don't feel oppressed by them. The Border Patrol has become, and it is becoming weak. Isn't it, or isn't it right? Verdes Vida, como no, a las 9 de la noche, let me respond this. Todos los días a las 9 de la noche, tiempo del Pacífico, estoy haciendo videos en español. Lo vamos a hacer en español también. This has become a humongous problem, people. That remember the group that arrived yesterday at Del Rio, Texas, 300 of them. If this continues, and if you get if a green light for 300 to enter as soon as they arrived to a non-port of entry, what do you think is going to happen with the organized crime? What do you think is going to happen? Do you think that they're going to say, oh, the last group that we're going to send, Juan, don't send any more? What do you think they're going to send more? Another group, and another group. And the Border Patrol right now is looking like a processing agency, like an Uber. Let me take this one over there. Instead of promoting legal migration, instead of promoting, hey, this is not a port of entry, man. The port of entry is over there. Necessity is so strong with migrants. Understand that. I completely understand. This is why the globalist compact of immigration does not work, people. Does not work. Only pushes people to migrate through certain different areas. What does this have to do with the organized crime? People are going to get tired of it. because they feel oppressed by the organized crime. They feel in danger for their lives by the organized crime. And when you get tired of it, and when you see that the government is not doing anything about it, when you see that your city or your state is collapsing of insecurity and violence, you rise, like the farmers right here in Mexico. Question to the American audience. Do you think that the American citizens are tired of the insecurity at the borders of the United States? Sadly, I hope that nothing goes into a point that the United States citizens take matters into their own hands because the government is not doing anything about it. Sadly, it's going to go to a point that the United States citizens are going to be like, when is this going to stop? Do we have a president? Do we actually have a president in charge? Do we actually have somebody in charge of the border? Do we actually have somebody in charge on a particular port of entry? Do we actually have somebody over there? Do we or do we not? You know what? Let me go over there and try to. And when American citizens have gone over there to try to help, they're labeled as racist, fascist, narcissists, inhuman people. But over here in Mexico, these people that they're rising against, the organized crime and the sicarios, that is a complete different story. Nobody puts attention to them. Nobody talks to them. Nobody says anything about that. And we got an incompetent president that is watching this right here as this is developing in Pentalgo, Chiapas. As you see, these are hundreds of farmers. Hundreds of farmers. Hundreds of them. That they are tired of it. And they have lifted their guns and said, we are not going to have it. Look at this young kid on the front of the screen, man. They just want to live. They just want to do their own thing. They just want to work. They just want to work their own land. This man right here on the back, Emiliano Zapata, says, La tierra es de quien la trabaja. It's a great saying. The land is for the one that works for it, not the one that comes and wants to take it. It's one of the reasons why Emiliano Zapata rised against the government and the oppression. This is exactly almost the same. At that particular time, against the oppression of the indigenous. This is oppression against the indigenous. It is the exact same oppression and in history of country of Mexico. But the most delicate and in particular delicate thing about this is that this people, it is in effect that all of this, it is going to go to the border. All these effects, it tells you how the organized crime has oppressed a population, has oppressed a country so much that they're sick and tired of it. They're sick and tired of it. And now you got this group of los machetes. Thank you so much. There is a new self-defense group that was formed in Panteljo, Chiapas. It has just shown you the map of where it's located at. But this practically tells you, people, the dangers of how the organized crime is oppressing now the population. I have interviewed multiple people that they're running away from fear from Mexico because of the oppression of the organized crime. Multiple migrants that they're running away from Michoacán and Guerrero. That they're ultimately, they cannot live over in Michoacán and Guerrero anymore because the organized crime has gone into their farmland and told them, I want your son, I want your daughter right now. I will take advantage of your daughter right now if you don't be submissive to me and give me your son, because he's now going to be part. Is going to be part. Now, your son is going to be part of this organized crime. And if you don't agree with me, I will torture your son. I have interviewed multiple people from Michoacan. Multiple people from Michoacan. This is a group from Chiapas. It's a complete different state. But it's the same ideology of taking over little by little, land by land. It is chaotic. And right here, you ask yourself, as a Mexican citizen, I ask myself, where is my government? Where is the protection of our citizens? Where is the protection of our children? Where is the protection of our lives? Do we actually have to do this now? Do we actually have to fight now in rise against the organized crime? Back in the day, Emiliano Zapata did. Like now, people in Panteljo, they're doing now. Why this is being done? Are we tired of it? Yes, we are. Is this going to get to a point where exactly the same oppression that is occurring right now in places in Mexico, the same oppression that is happening in the borders? Look what happened in Reynosa, Tamaulipas, in Matamoros. Look what happened right now in Nuevo Laredo. Look what is happening right now in Ciudad Juárez. They did a study of which municipal cities are the most dangerous in Mexico. Number 1, Tijuana, the city that I'm located at. Number 2, Ciudad Juárez. 2 most dangerous cities in our country of Mexico, and the 2 of them are borders. It tells you how dangerous it is and how national security and border security, it is priority to continue with a better life, sovereign nation, and ultimately the protection of your family. But if you have Congress people in the United States of America that they're against border security, against national security, and against these organized groups of people, that they're definitely disturbing the peace, and they're definitely finding a way to oppress the population, you will have, more than likely, it is the time that the expansion of stress and also distress and also the tiredness of people, the suicidal rate on Border Patrol agents in the United States of America is going up. People on the Border Patrol are not, they're tired because they imagine seeing and watching children being abused, families consistently crossing on suffering, because there's a lot of families that are crossing that they're suffering. Also, ultimately, we are going to see the adult taking advantage of a child, trafficking a child that is not his, that these adults, they don't even know the name of the child. Imagine a Border Patrol agent watching this and consistently, every day. Do you think that psychologically they are okay? Question mark to the American audience. Do you think that the Border Patrol agents psychologically they're okay watching, hearing screams, hearing gunshots every day at the same hour? Do you think that mentally they're stable right now to go back to their homes and to their families? The organized crime does not care. Where do you live? They will cross boundaries. And they also put up a threat the other day, a banner that says, this is a threat to all the municipal, state, and ministerial police in Mexico, in Juarez. Let the traffickers work. And also, they put a threat to the Border Patrol, and they said to the Border Patrol, bullets go through walls. Watch out. Let us work. It's just really delicate what is going on. Really delicate. We live in Mexico, We see this kind of attitude. I've seen this all my life. The trafficking of people, I've seen it all my life. Through mountains, through seas, I've seen this all my life. And I remember when the ZLN was created back in 1992, 93, something like that. No, 1980, 88, I think so. It was 88 or 89. And it was a group that it was created, an activist group, exactly like this one. It was created also in Chiapas. And it was against the killings of women, and it was against the abuse of the indigenous. And it was created as Ejército Zapatista de Liberación Nacional. It was something like, a part of the Emiliano Zapata group, but it was more as a radical group. And it was created to defend the indigenous and all this kind of thing. Now we have this. And groups like this have been created all around our country against to fight the cartels, against to fight the organized crime. If this is huge for our country, because we need to understand what the Mexican president is going to say and what he's going to do. And the American population, when you hear the Mexican president speak, and ultimately now, if you hear the Mexican president speak and he doesn't say anything about it, watch out. Red flag. To everybody that lives in the United States. Red flag for everybody. Why? Because he's going to let this collapse. And he's going to go with the ideology to say, hugs, no bullets. Farmers, put your guns down. Please. Remember a statement of the President AMLO, and I will leave this talking about him with this last statement. There was a journalist that went to his morning conferences that he does every day in the morning. So this journalist, it was a female. He told AMLO, the president, he said, President, a friend of mine, a female friend of mine got raped last week. And the guy that raped her, it was released. Why there's no justice for us? There's a problem with assassination towards women. And they say, the president responded like this. Look what he responded. What do you think is the solution? The journalist asked the president. The president responded, first and foremost, I will suggest your friend to go over there and forgive the rapist and hug him and forgive him. Imagine that. Imagine the mentality of a president saying that. Now imagine another statement that the president gave to the National Guard. He said, we need to respect the organized crime. Imagine a president saying that to his own National Guard. Now, let me jump to another president. Yesterday, President Biden saying that the unvaccinated people are the ones that they're killing. His own people. He's blaming his own people now. Doesn't it look like the same ideologies, the same way of thought, the same train of thought of these evil people, these evil ideology, communistical people? Don't they think alike? All of them think alike. This is why I brought Jorge Masvidal, his news, into my platform. Why? Because he says something that is clearly important for everybody to understand from a Cuban American. He says this. He says, these communists are evil. These dictators are evil. So all of them think alike. Nicolás Maduro, the president of Nicaragua, the past president of Ecuador, the dictator Evo Morales of Bolivia. All of them think alike. Juan Orlando Hernández of Honduras, Andrés Manuel López Obrador, Joe Biden, all of them think alike. Díaz-Canel of Cuba, Asqueroso, all of them think alike. Vladimir Putin of Russia, extending his presidency and changing the constitution to be a president until 2030, 2036. All of them think alike. Alexander Lukashenko, 26 years as a leader and dictator of Belarus. All of them think alike. No term limits in politics. No term limits. When is Rashida Tlaib going to leave office? When is Ilhan Omar going to leave office? When is Alexandria Ocasio going to leave office? When are these people going to be leaving office soon? Dictators. They're all alike. The 1%, the population of kings and queens on the top. 99% as communist countries are. Right here, the farmers being oppressed by the organized crime, creating chaos. Remember, Karl Marx, to achieve division, we had to build confrontation. And you got these Black Lives Matter groups that they already declared Marxist, leftist groups, that they're installed in the United States of America, enjoying capitalism, enjoying fully 100% capitalism life, but they're promoting division and they're promoting communistic agenda. Why don't they export all those people to a communist country to live under oppression, to live under electrical shutdowns, to live under the organized crime, to live with no water, to live with no gasoline, to struggle with food, to struggle with your kids going to school, to struggle with your national parks being destroyed? Why all these groups do not go and export themselves to those countries? My God, you're such a narcissist. You're such a fascist and you're such a racist. I'm not. I'm just telling you facts like right now. You live in a capitalist country, in a secure country. You don't live here in Pentaljo, Chiapas. You're not experiencing this. The way that farmers are living under this oppression. The way that the people in Michoacan are living under insecurity and oppression. The way the people in Guerrero are living under insecurity and oppression and kidnappings and killings of women. You're not living at the border. The most dangerous border that exists is Tijuana, where everybody's getting kidnapped, everybody's getting assassinated at every block. That is actually happening. Dismembered bodies being found all over the damn place. You're not living in Juarez when there's missing women, consistently missing women and women being raped and women being abused. You don't live over there. You don't live in Reynosa. You don't live in Tamaulipas, where people don't go out at 7 o'clock at night. They got to come back home because it's too late and it's too dangerous. You don't live in Cuba right now, where people are dying of hunger, and the monthly salary is $30. The monthly wage is $30, and you live out of sugar and water. And you see an elderly person skinny because he can't eat, because the only thing that he eats is once a month he eats rice and beans. You don't live in Venezuela when you have a minus 36 of the gross domestic product and your monthly wage is $3 a month. Electrical shutdowns, 2 weeks to get a gasoline tank. What happens if you get sick? A medicine is $300. How are you going to pay for it if your son gets sick if you got $3 a month? Under political oppression, under political persecution. These groups and these people like Colin Kaepernick, Alexandria Ocasio, they don't live on a violent country. They don't live on a communist country. They don't live and they haven't never experienced this in life. They have never seen this in life. If you tell a farmer of this Mexican farmer right here that you're seeing on your screen right here, if this farmers that you're seeing on the screen right here, if you tell them, hey, there's a Black Lives Matter activist saying that it's okay the way that you guys are living, he will tell you, hey, bring him over here and I will go over there immediately, like a blink of an eye. Like all the Cubans that are trying to flee right now, the island. The Cuban people are trying to escape from communism and dictatorship. The embargo. It's all about the embargo. Stop the blockage. It is because of the blockage. It is because of the American imperialism. That is your justification for everything. No, sir. No, no, no. A mí no me vienen con fregaderas. This is because of dictatorship and communism. And you can ask whatever Cuban, todos los cubanos, pregúntenle to whatever Cuban, you can ask him. And you can ask them. What do you think, women? All these Alexandria Ocasios, Ilhan Omars, and Rashida Tlaibs, do you know how to live without hygiene? Do you know how to live without hygiene and you're a woman? Do you know that the last interview that I did to a Venezuela migrant, I asked this to a woman, and it is so sad to hear this. I asked this to a woman, would you like to create a family in Venezuela. And she said, I can't. Not because I cannot have babies, not because I don't want to get pregnant. It's because it will be completely irresponsible to raise a child in a communist country. There is no life whatsoever. The exit is to fight back, people. The exit is to stop these communist dictators and these communist liberals also. These communist liberal activists that they are installed in our borders, that they are filtering this information to all the people that they're migrating. Instead of teaching them, love America, love the United States of America, it's your opportunity to go to a better country. No, they're indoctrinated. That land was stolen. That land was for Mexico. It's because of the embargo. The Republicans with the triple K. What is going on with the Democrats right now? Why don't you teach them that Barack Obama was the president that deported more Mexican and Latinos in history? The president that built the cages for children. Those ones that you got right now, people on, the same exactly ones. Those ones. The most racist president that ever existed in the country of the United States of America, Barack Obama. Sorry, no feelings hurt. He was the one that deported more people in history. More families separated. You know, all those people that are like, separation of families. Separation of families. What is going on? What happened in Barack Obama administration? What's going on right now with Biden? Why he said that he's not going to let you in anytime now in his administration. 3 times. Kamala Harris went to Guatemala and said, do not come, do not come, do not come. Is it the arrogance that blinds these people to understand what it is to live over here? Or you got the typical average U.S. citizen that is a Hispanic, that he was born, that he wants to be 100% Mexican, but he was born in the United States and he lives out of the United States capitalist country, capitalist money, and he lives over here in Mexico. You got that one, right? That one that is calling you a sellout, but lives out of the capitalist United States of America, lives out of the capitalist businesses of the United States of America, works in the capitalist United States of America, lives out of the capitalist United States dollar. And he wants to come over here and call you a sellout. And he wants to come over here and tell you about history. And he wants to come over here and tell you that he's an activist for pro-Mexican and pro-activist and pro-migrant, right? You got those activists, right? That you're living out of the United States of America and you cross every day to the United States to make money out of the United States. Don't tell me that you're that, right? And you're calling other people sellouts. Oh, and by the way, you don't live in the United States because it's too expensive, so you have to live over here in Mexico and take advantage of our country out of the capitalist dollar that you're calling other people sellouts. Right? Of course, right? Huh. My God, people. This is the rising of the group Los Machetes against the violence that is occurring in our country. With machetes and guns, they are rising against the oppressed, the government, and also the organized crime. God bless everybody that is watching. I'm Oscar Blue for Border Negro News. Welcome everybody to our platform. Thank you so much for joining in. Buy me a copy is on top of the link if you guys like to contribute to our independent reporting. Thank you so much for contributing to our independent reporting. It's on top of the link. Also, you got PayPal on the description box right here on the bottom if you guys like to help and contribute to our work. We are people funded people, so we appreciate so much the help. Thank you so much for joining in. We will be live tomorrow, a little bit more earlier than today, and I will be live in Spanish at 9 o'clock at night. 9 o'clock at night. Also, I will be doing some other, some other work with other patriots later on the week. Also, I will be having on my screen, I will be having a Cuban doctor also that she was protesting in Puerto Rico. Also, I will be having another Cubano that lives in Puerto Rico that he is actually was protesting against the oppression of the dictatorship. Also, I will be having possibly tomorrow Elvin Mendez, that he is an activist for a political party in Puerto Rico for the Republican. He's a Republican, registered Republican, and he's going to tell me how that protest went. Also, we're going to have a Venezuelan migrant that lives in Puerto Rico legally, and that he is fighting and protesting, and he was the organizer of this humongous protest in the capital of San Juan, Puerto Rico, protesting against the communistic agenda of Díaz-Canel and the castrismo that is occurring right now in Cuba. Last message. Like Jorge Masvidal said right here, professional fighter. Ego and arrogance is one of the things that destroys a man. Alexander the Great said this: one of the biggest mistakes of man is to not have patience. Man has always destroyed everything when they want to be abrupt, when they have power, when they have greed, when they ultimately know that they can be prepotent and nobody can defeat them mentally, physically, and ultimately power. It is a time for us to understand the reality of what is happening in our lives, the reality of what is happening in our borders, the reality that we have to be more human now, to understand the crisis that is occurring around the world. Not only because it is the United States of America and because it's Mexico, but we need to understand each other, that there needs to be an order. And these people, these communistic globalist people, they're trying and they're achieving this, destroying law and order, lawlessness, godless, all of these things. Freedom of religion, it is one of your amendments in the United States of America. Everybody can preach whatever they want. You're free to preach if you're Christian, if you're a Baptist, if you're an atheist, if you are whatever you are free to preach whatever you want. But ultimately, our number one goal is to not be destroyed by evil. That is our number one goal. And to create a better future for our children and our families. That is the number one goal. To have a great country and to coexist in the end of time and to be at peace. Leaving religion aside, leaving your religious beliefs aside. That, people, it does not come with skin color. This is why these communistic people are bringing always the race issue into factor, because that will create division. And we all stand together, brown, white, black, whatever color you are. They won't have a chance to defeat the ultimate goal, that is peace and love, and to ultimately grow as human beings, loving each other, caring for each other, law and order. God bless you all. Follow me at Facebook, follow me at YouTube, follow me on Instagram, and follow me at Telegram as Oscar L. Blue. Thank you so much for joining this live feed. Also, you can follow me at Buy Me a Coffee. You can be there at Buy Me a Coffee. I will be posting a couple of pictures today at Buy Me a Coffee for the Buy Me a Coffee supporters and followers. Thank you so much. God bless you all. Stay safe. And like we always say, people, peace and love, because always your country's first. God bless.
Ya van días y varias semanas.
He hasn't given no response, and it's been days and it's been weeks, and yeah. Good thing, Sarah, this canyon right here.
It's absolutely incredible. I haven't been to Tijuana in a lot of years, and seeing how wide open it is. I mean, I don't know if you could turn the camera around and show everyone how wide open it is. It's incredible.
Couple of questions. No. Ms. Rashida, what is your opinion on the massive child trafficking that is happening?
Y espero logren su objetivo de la justicia a su país. Luchen por su país. Say the basically fight for your country.
Están bloqueando el acceso. ¡Viva! La Policía Federal o la autoridad nos está deteniendo el acceso y nos está deteniendo el paso para poder cruzar hacia el Zócalo, señores.